let's take you back now to one of our leading stories, the MK Party, revealing that Floyd Shibambu has been removed as Secretary General and is being redeployed to Parliament. In April, here's a reminder, Shibambu facing criticism throughout the country for his visit to Malawi, where he attended an Easter service led by Shepherd Bushiri, who is a fugitive from justice in South Africa. Let's get some analysis now on this and regarding Floyd Shibambu and his role within the MK Party. Joining us for this conversation is political analyst Professor Lesiba Teffo. He is attached to the University of South Africa. Professor, good evening to you. Thank you very much for your time. I'm tempted to bring that soundbite of Floyd Shibambu when he was interviewed on this station by my colleague Ziyanda Ngcobo. It was, in fact, just this past week. And I want us to take a listen to Mr. Shibambu explaining in his own words why that visit to Malawi. All right, I'm told that it is not ready yet. Hopefully we can bring it up. But, Prof, what was Floyd Shibambu thinking here? Because clearly this matter was not sanctioned by the MK Party. Is it clear to you why he visited this man's church in the first place?
You know what, if you were to indulge me for a second, then I'll be quick. You know, there is a constitution of the Republic of South Africa that is being celebrated as the best under the sun. Whose interest does it serve? Crime is endemic. Security is an issue. And I'm glad you are going to talk to somebody called Becky Kale. When J.J. Tabane said to him, there is lawlessness in the country, he said, no, you are wrong. I wonder what he's going to say today now that he's out of office. So I'm concerned. We can talk about Floyd. It's a small fish in the grand scheme of things. But safety and security is an issue for the people of the land. Those who are listening, maybe they've got power and influence. Maybe that's where we need the national dialogue. Forget about sophisticated academic discussions around these issues. We have to deal with it. Coming back to Floyd, I'm not sure what the issue is here. Not at all. I am not. Because I think it is being unreasonably, from my perspective, overblown. One, was it a private visit or not? Can he worship wherever he pleases or not? Does one need permission from his political party to go and visit St. Basilica, say in St. Peter's Basilica in Rome, Silo IPC Church, ZCC Church Moriah? Do you need permission to do that? To go to Shembe? Do you need permission to do that? I suspect the MK is digging too deep a trench for itself that it cannot get out of it. It's too thin a line that they're trading on that it's not going to be sustainable, because many people might be found wanting, and they might be found to be inconsistent if you were not to act in the manner they did with Floyd.
Yeah.
And I'm also not sure if I can call this a demotion.
Professor, I would like for us to reflect a little bit on why South Africans reacted the way that they did. And it perhaps has to do with what Shepherd Bushiri and his wife Mary are accused of here in South Africa. These are the charges they face, Professor. They include rape and fraud. And it's part of the reason they are wanted back in South Africa. Now, here's a political leader whose party is represented in Parliament. They are there as representatives of the people. Surely, ordinary South Africans have a reason to worry when a leader of a party that they have voted for to be in Parliament can go to Malawi and not see the egregious nature of what he has done. And this is why the MK Party today says, reflecting on this, there's clearly no way they can explain this to ordinary South Africans, and therefore he has to be removed. I don't know whether I'm making sense.
You're making sense. Though I'm at variance with that position. I am at variance with it. How many in Parliament found guilty or are facing very serious allegations with evidence abounding that there's no action against them? The Zondo Commission report is there. Who's acting on it? The revulsion the society seems to have against Floyd. Why don't I hear that? Read the findings of the Zondo Commission. The many people, come election time, they will be running from one church to another, some of them with checkered backgrounds. I'm sorry, I'm not for Floyd, neither am I against him. I'm just for a principle. I am for justice, no matter for whom it is. I am for truth, no matter who says it. That's my position for now. There are many whose hands are dripping with blood, who are crying foul. And for me, that's hypocrisy.
Yeah.
The Bushiri family, they have their own issues, right? They have their own issues. I understand that. And I understand where society comes from. But it's when you want to elevate it to a point where your moral rectitude seems to suggest that this man is wrong, but others are not wrong. When they visit TJ Joshua, right? You know the Joshua fellow?
I remember him very well. TB Joshua, yes. He's dead now, yes.
How many members of Parliament of South Africa went there? But I'm worried about that those whose checkered background, who are sitting in that hallowed building we call Parliament. Let's talk about those. For me, there is nothing wrong he did. He went to pray to a church, at a church where the man in charge, right, is accused of several things. I concede that. But how many leaders of many churches, we have people going there literally every weekend, and they have shady and small skeletons in their closets. Yes, let's be fair. The MK went too far. It has dug the trench far too deep for itself. And let's see how they handle it going forward. But on the point of demotion via promotion, I don't see it as a demotion. Floyd is fairly gifted, talented, a capable organizer. He has proven himself over the years. And then moving from the EFF, I think, was a good thing because he lived under the shadows of the big man. And I think he's still destined to greater heights, circumstances permitting. And going there, he established a fairly strong, robust structure in terms of putting systems in place in the MK party. Going to Parliament, I think he will equally make a contribution for MK and even for the country.
I wonder, therefore, Professor, let's now move into the MK party's internal politics, if you will. I will not profess to know much at this stage, but safe to say that Floyd Shibambu did not see eye to eye with the daughter of the leader of the party, Ms. Duduzile Zuma Sambudla. But that doesn't suggest for a moment that I'm intimating that the reason he's removed is because of that. But having held a position of Secretary General, to now going to Parliament to be, at least based on what has been announced today, to be an ordinary MP, I'm not so sure whether he has been given a specific task yet. Surely, that's a demotion.
Maybe we should hold our horses. And I don't want to speculate. And neither was I surprised by this announcement. I'm sure you would recall 2 weeks ago when there was some wrangling around money that they said, please hold your horses. There will be some major announcement in a few weeks or days to come. And I suspect if we are not ahead of ourselves and we give them space, right? I still believe he will make a greater contribution at Parliament for the good of South Africa, perhaps much more than the good of the party. He's a fairly gifted fellow, and I would hope and wish for more Floyds out there as against what I see in that hallowed building.
Is Floyd Shibambu genuinely on the upward trajectory in the MK party, Professor. And I am asking this, yes, I've heard you. You say that he has a bright future. He's a bright person politically. But given what is happening right now, do you honestly think that his star is still rising within this party?
I think it is still shining. Nothing has dimmed it for me so far. It's a hurdle that they will have to cross. And like I said, they've dug the trenches far too deep for themselves. They might look back one day and regret this move because it's going to put some challenges ahead of them. But let's look at Floyd. Given where he is, he has some gravitas. He has some following. He has a fairly good brain. Politically, he's far superior to many, right? And I suspect many would have loved or would love to draw him in their fold. And I say I'm whispering in Koli's ears, if the glorious movement goes to the election with another businessman being punted, that glorious movement is heading for a serious split again. And I wouldn't be surprised if one part or another might seek to have a man like him. For me, he's a rising star. He has what it takes. He may make mistakes here and there, but let's not attribute our own failings to him, even where it is not due to him.
One last attempt, Professor, and this is me trying to understand your thinking when you say his star is still rising. Based on that interview I intimated earlier that my colleague did with Floyd Shibambu, there were intimations there that President Zuma, who is the leader of the MK party, may have been aware that Floyd Shibambu is going to Malawi and is going to attend the church of Shepherd Bushiri. If he did know, is he not throwing him under the bus in this instance, given what has been explained in that media briefing? Because I can't see it any other way except to say he's being thrown under the bus. But what is the reason, and which is why I'm again pressing you on this, whether or not his star is still rising within the party?
I like it when you mention the way Jay's at Zuma, right? Because you know very well that is a wily politician. He's a chess master. Wait until he takes the next move, Floyd. I know we tend to underestimate him, but he is a chess master. He is an expert in this area, and very few can match him. I have no doubt he knew he was going there, and he knows what he's doing right now. I don't think, I'm not at a stage where I can say MKP can do without Floyd. He is not indispensable, but I don't think they underestimate the value and the contribution he's making.
Yeah. All right. Professor Lesiba Teffo, let's end the conversation there. Hopefully we'll speak again next time. One of us has got to be proven wrong. Thank you, sir. Thank you for indulging me. Thank you for your time. Professor Teffo is attached to the University of Pretoria.